Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your weekday daily card reading where we dive into the cards and see what's in store with a message from Spirit. How are you all doing this week? How's this week starting off for you? I'm curious, is it like clarity right off the bat, or directions right off the bat, or like massive spirit communication? Or does it feel like it's trickling in? Again, everyone's journey is totally unique. So you always just kind of take what resonates for you. I noticed for myself, Spirit has been dropping like these big pieces, and I'm like, give me the details. And then the details are what trickle in. But the big idea arrives. So it's kind of just honoring the process. And remember too that different spirit guides communicate in different ways. So sometimes you might get a spirit guide that wants to tell you all the details. And other times you have kind of those stoic kind of guides who give you like little bits at a time. So, anyways, curious to see what's unfolding for you. All right, this week I'm using the Awakening Avalon Oracle deck that we created at Avalon Spirit. It is in the link below if you do want to purchase one for yourself, or the Wisdom of Gaia deck that we created as well. Let's see what Spirit has in store. Okay, let's see here. Oh, interesting. They're saying, don't go deep into the valley of fear. And I was like, oh, okay, so what does that mean? Like, there's a potential with this heightened spirit communication energy that there's also this influx of kind of like fear energy. Again, it's to always oppose, right? Whenever there's more light, the dark wants to oppose that. And I mean, the same with the opposite. When there's a lot of dark, the light wants to come in and oppose that, right? So, with this influx of communication, there might also be this feeling of an influx of like fear energy type thing. And they're saying, don't dive into that valley. And they're showing me this imagery of like a mountain range that surrounds this valley. They're like, stay along the peaks of the mountain range instead of going into the valley. If you go into the valley, you're going to get caught up in like the mud and the sludge and the boggy kind of environment. Whereas if you stay along the peaks, it may be a little cold up there, but you're going to have more clarity. It'll be more peaceful. Um, that kind of thing. They're like, again, this is the new terrain. Many of us the last while have been kind of climbing the mountain, right? We've been climbing up. I've talked about it before, like going into the dark forest. But now we get to walk along the peaks. And that is just totally new territory. So we need kind of like fresh eyes to look at that. So they're like, don't get pulled back into the valley. Now is not the time. That's interesting. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. Right. Okay, here we go. Interesting. Okay, so cool. Okay, so first one we have is clairvoyance. Open your inner sight. And I think this is really neat. Again, this is that like new, this is representing that new terrain, that new visual that we're getting, that like that view from the peak. That peak, though, also represents this innate inner vision of yours. So whether that comes through as true clairvoyance, where you see spirits, see images, see visions, or if you're getting more clarity on your personal vision for your life, what it is you want, there's an awakening and an opening of what you are visualizing happening also. So I think this is really neat. So it's like open to your inner sight, whatever that inner sight is. You may also notice that your dream state is a lot more active too. You could be really opening your clairvoyance in that dream state also. So just pay attention to what's coming up in there. Because essentially, what's occurring is this Awakening to Avalon card, which says connect to the sacred realm. When we open to this inner sight, we're opening into different realms, higher realms of consciousness. And this makes a lot of sense with Spirit saying, hey, this week we're going to be talking to you a lot more. You're opening up to them a lot more. So you are going to essentially get snippets of experience to different realms. And some of you might get that more in the kind of sensory way, like your clairsentience might open up. versus your clairvoyance. But the thing is you're going to start to perceive different frequencies. Now, what that can feel like for you sometimes is you could be sitting there, you've already eaten, you've had stuff to drink, everything is normal, and all of a sudden you get this really weird whoosh feeling in your head, or you feel this weird buzzing in your body, or you feel like your vision of your world tilts slightly, right? Or for some people, it's a ringing in the ears comes out of nowhere. That's your body's recognition of a higher frequency. The higher you go in your frequency, the more you access higher realms, right? So the interesting thing they're reminding me to tell you is within the third dimensional reality, we kind of have like 3.0, and then we have like 3.9, 10, 11, 12, right? So there's a range in there. So you may be starting to feel things differently, but you're not quite understanding it, that you might be in the higher threes. So something to consider, just like if you get into 4D and you want to move through into 5D, you might be kind of mid 4D still, so it's not as clear. So just consider that. Now, what helps to raise your frequencies? Gratitude. Gratitude, joy, authenticity, those are all things that really help. But Spirit is really talking about give thanks. Give gratitude to your life, your journey. And sometimes if we look back on our life and we're like, ugh, well, this was hard. This has just been hard. Then try and view your gratitude on what have you become because of it? How efficient, how compassionate, how awakened, how wise have you become because of it? And then have gratitude for those things that you gained from it. That's another way you can take that gratitude in. And when you do that, you're bringing in this energetic force into your body that then allows you to reach these higher energies. It's very, very hard to reach higher energies when you're very, very, very low, right? Whether you're very low because you're really sick. I was there last summer, right? I couldn't really hear spirit, couldn't connect with them as much because I was so sick. My vibes were so low in my body and my mind. It was really hard. But as you increase your vibes, it's easier to reach these higher realms. So regardless of where you're at in your journey right now, you can increase your vibes by giving gratitude, being in the energy of play, and also being authentically you. That'll all help to kind of up your frequency and bring you into the direction you want to go, which is connecting into these higher realms, having these conversations, these understandings, and these messages from your guides in one way or another. Now, I do want to say one thing is to remember that spirit speaks differently. Spirit language, I mean, again, it depends on each individual person. So for some of you, you might find spirit speaks in your language clearly word for word. Others, it's like these energies or these feelings that you interpret. Sometimes it's pure telepathy that just kind of comes into your mind. Spirit speaks in a lot of different ways. And so we have to really be willing to acknowledge the subtleties and the little things that show up in order to see how big they actually are, right? Like, for example, if you're seeing ladybugs, okay, and you're like, oh, it's a ladybug, and you don't notice it, sure, it's just a ladybug. But if you're starting to see ladybugs every once in a while, or like, say, 3 days in a row, there's something to it. So then what you could do in response to seeing 3 ladybugs in a row is, okay, I think that might be a message from spirit. What does that mean? And you look up the meaning of ladybug, and maybe whatever resonates with you is that it's good luck, or it's abundance, or it's love, or union. Then you're like, okay, I received that message. And what have I been thinking about? I've been thinking about, say, divine union and partnership. Okay, I can see spirit is communicating, right? Like you have to kind of follow the little lead because otherwise they'll just be like, oh, another ladybug. And then spirit's like, ah, shoot, they missed it. But they're not hearing me when I try and speak telepathy. So I need to give them signs and I'm trying to give them ladybugs. So again, it's communicating with spirit is a unique language and it's unique to each and every person, which is what I teach in my development classes. Like, let's discover what this is for you, because what something means for me might be different for you. So notice the subtleties in that communication and what's coming up for you and allow it to build. I think that's a huge thing. All right. I will leave that with all of you for now. Thank you so much as always. And I also want to invite you to Cosmic Consciousness tomorrow night. It's all about ancient Egypt. I have some really neat channeled messages come through. One I expected to communicate with this particular spirit energy. Another one completely surprised me. And I'm very excited to share that with all of you too. So if you're interested, you can sign up at avalonspirit.com under Cosmic Consciousness, and I hope to see you there. And that's all. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a beautiful rest of your day.